Hello, hi, how's it going? I was trying to make a video and record it, but I couldn't because I don't have enough space on my phone. So what I decided to do is just on a whim make my first live video on Facebook of me creating something. I've made lots of videos of festivals and whatnot, but today you're going to see me make a turtle earthy friend because I love turtles, as you know if you follow my work. So yeah, so once I get this phone situated on my flame, you're gonna see me make a turtle. Yay! So thanks for joining me. I figured instead of putting up an announcement, because like I said, this was unplanned, I was just gonna do it, and that way I wouldn't be disappointed if no one was watching. But I knew that it would keep a record of my video on Facebook, and it would be like posting a video to Facebook. Does that make sense? I think so. Anyways, so watch me make a earthy friend turtle. Oh, hello. We have glass. I smell my glass. Oh, okay. I already have my flame going here. Which, wow, I'm the most unprepared person for everything. But here we go. I've got a little live video. Alright guys, bear with me. I know nobody's watching yet, but you might be watching at another time. This is my very messy workspace because actually, this is not messy at all compared to what I usually have, so. Okay, I think that's good. And now to begin. So I always like to start with the chopstick. This is a stainless steel chopstick. It is a huge lifesaver if you want to start creating things. As most of you know, I work with 104, aka soft glass. Primarily, a lot of people think that it's harder to work with because it does crack easier with the thermal shock. So with the cold air surrounding it and putting it into the flame, it has a tendency to crack a lot easier than, let's say, hard glass, which is also known as borosilicate. So the first thing I'm going to do is decide what color I'm going to make my turtle. And because I have this blue here, and I just made an orange turtle on what I thought was recording a video, but my phone would not let me record it, so I'm going to make a blue turtle now. So the stainless steel chopsticks are super inexpensive. You can get them, I got them in bulk off of Amazon, believe it or not. And I just want to place the glass on the tip. You can see I just put it on the tip, because if I get it too involved and wrap it around the chopstick, I am going to risk destroying my turtle, and I have destroyed many turtles in hard work. And it's sad because you kind of get connected with them, you make their little faces, and you make them come to life, and then you go and you just basically turn them into a blob of disgustingness when you're trying to rip it off there. So I'm just going to keep this on the very tip, and glass does want to form a sphere. So when the heat hits it, it immediately starts trying to turn into a ball. So I'm just going to try to gather this here, and I think that has something to do with like atoms and you know, just basically the structure of most things in life in the universe, honestly. I mean, if you think about like the planets and the sun and whatnot, I don't know the technical scientific terminology for it. However, I think it makes sense inside my head. Again, I'm not an expert, and I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to these things, so it could be for a completely other reason. So this is kind of like the boring part of getting the turtle shell on. I'm melting it. I'm going a little faster than I normally would because I have to tell you guys, I'm kind of nervous. I know it's a live video. I know probably no one is watching it right now. However, the fact that people will at some point be watching it kind of freaks me out. Those of you that know me, you know that I am slightly antisocial, a little bit of social anxiety, so I am shaking a little bit. That's gonna go. I think normally I don't talk to myself. I think that once I realize that no one is watching me, I will calm down a little bit. It's kind of like being on stage, you know. So what I'm doing is turning this into a blob. And like I said, with the soft glass, it wants to just blob out. So I have to keep turning it. If I don't keep turning it, it's going to fall. So if you have a marver, which if you're learning how to lamp work, how to do glass blowing, you're going to want to get one of these. It's a graphite marver. And I just like to stick it in whatever hole it fits in. And that's how I form my shell. So that was just the first form. And you can tell that the color changed. And what happens is, once you put the glass on something like graphite, which doesn't conduct heat very well, which is why they use it, it immediately wants to, you know, cool down. And if you let it stay on there for too long, it will shatter. Especially 104 glass. It is super, super shatter. Filled with just bunch of shattering properties, and you can tell that once you start to get used to working with different colors, you'll see that different colors almost shatter faster than others. So I think I have a basic shape of a turtle shell here. Usually I'll put it in and out of the marver a few times. I think I'm going to do one more time, which you can't see because my marver is down. I want gravity to kind of pull it down. And this is going to be a little turtle, but it's cute already, I can tell. So one color that I enjoy with this color blue is oranges. Orange and blue, obviously they complement each other. This is like an apricot color. I have quite the variety of glass and quite the variety of color. I know that this one is called apricot of some sort. I'm just not sure exactly. And then I put a blob right in the middle. And when I'm doing this, I want to make sure I keep this hot as well, the stainless steel, or else it will crack from underneath, and that would make for a very sad turtle. And learn from me, I have destroyed many of turtles. I am self-taught, so it's been trial and error all the way, let me tell you. So I hope you can see this. I'm going to just look into the camera here. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's not super vivid, but hey, there it is. Just a way I can zoom in. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Hey, what's up? Okay. So now I have, and they don't have to be perfect. People are like, oh, make sure that you put the exact right amount of, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Do your best. When you're learning, especially, I mean, I am still learning. There's many things I don't know how to make, but do your best. Try to get an equal amount of glass. And two, you got to keep turning it, or else you're going to end up blobbing this out. So I just keep turning it, and right now I want to put another color over this apricot color, and I'm thinking I'm gonna choose this color, which is like a banana. Now this one likes to crack when I put it in the flame, so I'm going to add it very slowly. And the more you work with glass, the more you'll get familiar with it. So I'm still turning this. I'm turning this out of the flame. I'm keeping it hot, but I want this one in the flame now. I figured, you know, I'm trying to grow my business. I'm trying to promote myself. There's not many things I do well, but I've spent thousands of hours on learning this art. So why not share what I've learned with you? And because I know that there's tons of people that are really interested in how to do it. So this is called lampworking. Glass blowing is very similar, except you use tubes in air to actually blow out the glass, and you cannot do glass blowing with soft glass as far as I know. That's only for the borosilicate, which I have dipped into, but honestly my thing is the soft glass. I'm very comfortable with it. I love making things. The selection that you can of colors you have to choose from soft glass is amazing. People do say it's harder to work with just because it's it's more prone to thermal shock, like I said before. So when it hits the flame, if it hits too fast, it will crack. Whereas you have a little bit more forgiveness with the borosilicate, what I've noticed. But then again, it's harder, so you have to add more heat. So I'm just straightening out my shell right now because it got a little warpy. There. So now you can see that there's a little design on there. And I think I want to add like one more color in the middle because why not? And I'm going to actually go with the color of the shell to bring it back. So this is a stringer I made of that color. Stringers are super simple to make, and maybe one day I'll do a video on how to make them. I used to buy them. I didn't realize that you could make them. And they're so unbelievably easy. Okay, so like I said, those are not perfect little dots, but they're there. They're on there. And I'm keeping this always turning all the time because that's what you have to do. You have to keep it moving. If you don't keep it moving, it's gonna flop. It's gonna flop and you're gonna feel sad because you just like put a bunch of time into it. And honestly, I don't even have a little turtle here yet. I just have a shell, but I'm already connected. I'm already connected to this little guy, my first live video turtle guy. All right, so I'm gonna stick him back in the marver, which I showed you before. Marver here, in the one that fits. I wanna get everything nice and even. Now you could leave those spots, you could leave them raised if you wanted to. I like to make it flush because one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put clear glass on top of all of these dots that I just made. And that's gonna give him his bulbish shell. So the clear I like to use, there's all sorts of different clear, but the soft glass clear that I like to use, I believe it's called Urboros. All right, the tip just broke off of that. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It starts with a U. From my experience, this is the cleanest clear, which means when I work with it, it doesn't have the dirtiness like some other brands do that I've noticed. And I like it doesn't burn as much, and when glass is burning, what happens is it'll burn and you can see all the bubbles in it, and I just don't like that. So I'm gonna stick one blob right on the top once I get a little bit of a gather on there, and I'm not gonna melt that down yet. As you can see, I'm keeping this just above the heat because I don't want it to get too melted. Now I have destroyed so many pieces that I've made, like I said, trial and error, just by not keeping them warm enough. It's a simple thing. You just don't realize because you're trying to make it perfect that you don't realize that, ooh, I've had it out of the heat for too long, and oh my gosh, before you know it, the thing cracks in your face, and you're like, why am I trying to learn this? I have had many a tears. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more on that one just because it didn't get enough. Okay, so as you can see, my workspace, very messy. I was not prepared to make a live video, that's for sure. But hey, this is me. This is my station. This is my work area. This is honestly, I say very messy, but this is actually pretty clean considering some of the messes I've had. So see how it's got, I say implosion because now what it's done is it's taken, the glass has been magnified, which is pretty cool. Alright, so there's the shell of my turtle. I didn't really put anything along the edges, and that's fine. This is my first live video, so I'm making something. So just like gonna take it a little easy. I'm gonna use this color which I put into the shell. I'm gonna make use this color here to actually make the body of the turtle. So again, I'm heating up this part just to get it back to temperature. I want to make sure it doesn't crack. I love making turtles. They look easy to make, but I have cracked many turtles. So if you're looking for a cheap way to get into glass, get it into lampworking, I call it glass melting. A lot of people start with like a butane torch, I think it is. I did not. I just jumped in, and when I say jumped in, I mean I saved and saved and saved, and bought a Nortel miner torch, which I love. This actually, the torch that I'm using right now is not, it has a Nortel miner attached to it on top of it. It's a Red Max though. It's also by Nortel. And I got that on eBay. I think I got it on eBay for a pretty good price. I don't remember, but it was under 100. And see how I had a crack there? I don't want that crack. I don't want that little guy to stick to anything. So I'm gonna grab that, and I'm just gonna pull it off here once I get it heated up. Yeah, so you could start off, I think it's a butane torch. Don't quote me on that. The only thing is you have to kind of hold that torch with one hand as you're trying to create, or somehow build a stand, and you're not going to get as clean of a finished product than you would have if you're using a larger torch that's connected to oxygen and propane. And that is all I have to say about that. So now my little turtle's coming to life. I like to make the head first because the head is going to be very detailed with the eyes. So he's going to have a an adorable little face, and I'm just trying to get this even. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this is my trusty old knife. I call her Old Faithful. I use it for lots of shaping. So to do the eyes, I take a very thin white stringer. I turn down my heat because the stringer is so thin, it's gonna melt if I have too much heat on it. So now I'm gonna put one eye there, and you really have to have a steady hand. Another eye there, and I'm gonna make sure that they're both even, and they do look good. And boom. So now I'm gonna turn my heat back up just a little bit because I want to melt the eyes in. This little guy's looking cute already. And I usually do blue eyes just because I have so much blue, and I love like this color here. Oh, it's beautiful. And yeah, what's different? Nothing, I guess. Sometimes I switch it up and I'll do green eyes and you know, brown eyes. And I'm just putting a little dot on there. Now see this eye, I have bigger than that eye, so I'm going to come back to this eye and add a little bit more. And maybe even a little more once I melt it down a little bit. Kind of looks like a snail right now. Okay, so another thing I've noticed when I started working with glass is it's so hard not to touch it. You want to touch the thing you're creating, almost like you would clay. You want to touch it because you're just so used to fixing things and adjusting things with your fingertips, with your hands. I mean, that's what we use them for. And you just can't. You have to use tools to make these things. And it was a learning process, I have to say. You wouldn't think it would be, because you'd think, oh, well, duh. But when you are working on something and you're just kind of like an autopilot, you're not really thinking, oh, wait, I shouldn't touch this. You just want to touch it. So this here, this glass, I haven't marked with a rubber band because this is an intense black. So this is an intense black stringer that I purchased. Intense black in the 104 world is very, very expensive. but this is one thing I learned, is they have a transparent black that you can buy, or they have an intense black. And the intense black is intense. It's just a lot more pigmented, so it's going to be more expensive. But the eyes, if you use the intense black, will be black. I mean, your pupils are going to be black. If you don't use the intense glass and you use the transparent black, which looks the same, that's why I put a rubber band on the intense black, is because it almost looks purple. If you do it over white, let's say, which are like the eyes. So a lot of my earlier pieces, you will see that they have purple looking eyes. So this little guy is starting to look cute. I'm just gonna heat this up a little bit because I feel like it's changing color, as in it is part of, it's like turning into the trying to fix my camera here too. Wow, this is a challenge, huh? Oh, hi. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Anyways, I can't believe I'm doing a Facebook Live video. Oh man, am I gonna regret this? Anyway, so my trusty old knife. I have a bunch of different tools here, and I just use the same things over and over. But now I'm gonna make his little face because he's cute. Oh, there's his little grin. Hey, guy. Oh yeah, that's a cute one. Now sometimes I'll put like a little tongue on him. Actually, with the turtle I just made that I thought I was making a video for, I put a little tongue on him. Oh, it was adorable. So I'll have to show you guys. I mean, obviously I'll post up pictures, but. So anyway, so here's his little face. Let's see if you can see it. Where's my camera there? Hello. Hello, little guy. Hello. Yeah. So there he is. Put him back in the flame now. Get him working here. I'm going to slowly introduce this yellow. Like I said, it likes to crack. It's a cracker. The more you do this, I'm going to turn up my flame just a little bit. The more colors you work with in 104 glass and in borosilicate glass, the more familiar you become with them. So I'm familiar with most colors, I would say. And I know that this one likes to crack, so I have to do it very slowly, but it's a beautiful effect that this glass has, so I like to work with it. So now I'm going to put his little feet on, and I put basically a blob to start, and I'm still turning it, because if I keep this guy one way, that little foot is going to end up turning into part of his shell, and nobody likes a foot attached to a shell. I mean, how is this guy going to walk? So I try to keep these as even as possible. They don't have to be perfect. You can always add more to one limb when you want, but. So for those of you just tuning in, which I have no idea if anyone is even tuning in right now because I cannot see my phone, but basically I just decided on a whim to make the turtle on live video on Facebook. Now, I can tell you that this scares me very much. Most of you that know me know that I am intimidated by being on video. I am intimidated by being in public. I am intimidated of people. Alright, so that's a tricky. Now for his little tail. I used a little enough for a tail, and you can see. Alright, and there we go. We have a little turtle. Now, I gotta get this guy up to heat, up to temperature. I gotta get him warmed up. Because if I don't, I'm gonna regret it, because he's gonna crack, and I'm gonna be so sad. And like I said before, I have lost so many turtles. And this guy's adorable. Oh, for my first Facebook Live turtle, he's so happy. And this is my sick self. Alright, so now I'm taking a piece of clear glass, a nub of clear glass that I have, and I'm heating up the end because I'm going to make a punty to attach to this guy so I can get him off of this stainless steel chopstick that I'm using. So I wanted a certain temperature, so now I'm gonna just gently poke it on, and now it's attached. So I'm gonna turn it, I don't want it too attached. And now I'm going to heat up underneath the turtle, and I'm gonna form his legs, and I'm going to get the stainless steel chopstick out of him as we speak. Alright, so there. And I kind of hit one of his little legs there, but that's fine. So what I like to do is, sometimes if it's possible, if I know that my turtle's up to temperature, I like to plug up that hole with a similar color, or the same color, or a different color. Bam. And I take a little tool. I got these tools actually at Harbor Freight. There was like a set of them. I just got them recently. I usually don't get new tools often. So, I am heating up this little guy's legs right now because I'm going to have to form him into a turtle that can stand on its own. So I like to get him going. Alright, so now I have my marver pad, and I'm dropping him on the marver to get, and he's cute. He's got like a little sideways thing going on. Like, I think I'm good with him. Alright, so now I'm just going to heat that up real quick. I'm still trying to keep this hot. Take my tweezers. I'm warming up my tweezers because if I touch the tweezers right to my turtle, he's going to crack. He's going to crack because glass wants to crack when it gets shocked with something that's not a similar temperature to it. And that's called thermal shock, and it will crack. Alright, so now this is a good temperature. I'm going to test it here. I don't want it to stick. Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm going to hit that, and that detaches him. And now I'm going to flame work right the tip of this little guy, so that way it doesn't have a spot. And he's going to go straight into my kiln, but you cannot see. Bam. So, I just completed my first Facebook Live video of making a little turtle, and it was totally unorganized, and but yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'm probably going to be doing more of these. Hopefully they'll be a little bit more thought out. Maybe I'll make an announcement next time. Oh, hi. Welcome to my humble abode. Anyways, hopefully people can look back on this and learn something. I made a super fast turtle. That was super fast. Normally I don't make them that fast, but I have to say my nerves are a little jittery right now with knowing that this is a Facebook Live video and 3 people are watching. That's pretty cool, I have to say. For not announcing it, having 3 people watch, that's cool. Who's what? Patty's watching. Hi, Patty. How are you? Anyways, I have to check the time because I don't have much time before I have to go pick up my kids from school. So, if there's enough time, maybe I'll make another quick video. Who knows? Hey, thanks for watching. Bye.